Welcome to the Dawgs Fantasy Football Podcast with your hosts, Justin Charles and Josh All.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Dawgs Fantasy Football Podcast. Josh and Justin back with you this week. Hope everybody had a great 4th of July weekend. I know I did. How was the weekend for you, man?
Yeah, it was great, man. Just 4th of July weather wasn't that great, but we still, pool partied it up,
Yeah, I know here where we are in Ohio, it was kind of like cloudy and
a little rainy.
Yeah, just it wasn't exact. Now, the last couple of days have been hot and sunny, if you can tell by my forehead and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm quite burnt. I spent all day yesterday in the pool, and so I got toasted.
It's a good decision. It's good business decision.
Man, when it's 90-some degrees out, it is a very good decision.
That's it, yeah.
Sunscreen, sometimes recommended, but, do with that what you will.
Absolutely.
So we're going to dive into another mock draft today. We got a lot of good feedback last week on that episode, and right now we're in that dead zone of summer. All the teams are on summer break. There's not a whole lot of football news going on and stuff to really talk about from once training camps and things ramp up. But we'll just keep doing these mock drafts and kind of helping you guys hopefully prepare a little bit and get a taste for how some of these things go.
Maybe preparing us.
Yeah, maybe preparing us because today we're going to do a Superflex redraft mock draft. So it's going to be a 1-point PPR with a tight end premium, which means tight ends would get 1.5 points per reception. It's a Superflex league, which means you can start 2 quarterbacks in your starting lineup. So it's going to be a 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a regular flex, which is a wide receiver, running back, tight end, and then a super flex, which is wide receiver, running back, tight end, or most usually a quarterback.
Okay. Because
on average, quarterbacks will score. You expect a quarterback to score consistently more per week than just a 4th wide receiver on your team or whatever. So, all right. I'm just trying to think if there's any news. I mean, I know we talked about a little CeeDee Lamb stuff last week. Still really nothing there. Brandon Ayuk, don't really know.
That looks like it's completely stalled out.
Yeah.
It's just not a lot of communication. I don't know if it's amplified, but like Bleacher Report and stuff like that. Yeah. But doesn't seem like anything's really going on that front at all.
It seems like he's going to be there this year unless they just can't get it worked out when camp starts and they decide to trade him. But, at that point, don't you feel like San Francisco loses a little bit of the leverage, with a team they're trading to? They're like, hey, look, we know you're trying to get rid of this guy.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't know if he's prepared to sit through a season, completely just be like, yeah, I'm not playing. I mean, because his stock's pretty high right now. And his belief is he's a number 1. So in my eyes, hey, I'd go out there, perform, because you're basically on a contract here. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's what he's hoping for. I got to think he plays though, even if they play hardball.
I would think so. Now, my thing too has been, we've already seen a period of his career where he was kind of in Shanahan's doghouse.
Yes.
Just for, what was it, practice efforts, lack of practice efforts and things like that maybe, or whatever. But I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting. Yeah. These wide receivers are definitely divas for the most part. And that's just goes with the territory. A lot of wide receivers have gotten paid.
Yeah.
So it is kind of weird that, CeeDee Lamb, the best receiver last year, is not paid yet. Brandon Ayuk, one of the better receivers in the league. I mean, we'll see. We will see what happens, but the 49ers are definitely in some cap situation with all the studs. I mean, they're paying Christian McCaffrey and Debo and George Kittle a lot of money, and they've got a lot of money they got to pay Brock Purdy.
On both sides of the ball, yeah.
Pretty soon, yeah.
Yeah, he's coming up on.
So what do you do? I mean,
the minute that they got to start paying Brock Purdy, you can't pay some of these other guys.
No, and that's why you saw Ricky Pearsall come in the first round and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Dak Prescott in a walking boot. I think the media, this is what sucks about the dead time in summer. Yeah. The media had a field day with that one, oh no, something wrong with Dak Prescott. And then it was the ankle that he had surgery on a couple years ago.
Okay.
And that he broke.
Yeah.
And he said that they were going fishing, deep sea fishing or something. And he said out on the water, his ankle will swell up after now.
Okay.
So he was wearing the boot as a precaution to, kind of go against the swelling. And he's like, it was not a big deal. I was like, I'm just trying to
non-contact,
trying to go fishing, guys.
That time of the year.
It is that time of the year.
Not a lot.
So much clickbait, but we are almost out of it. We got a couple weeks left. Training camp will be starting, and then at least there will be some relevant things to actually read online. Right now, it's pretty much garbage. So, all right. With all that being said, before we dive into the draft, just make sure you guys like the video, subscribe on YouTube, tap that notification bell. If you're listening on your podcast audio platforms, make sure you guys, Spotify, give us a 5-star rating. We also have video now on Spotify. Pretty cool.
Sweet.
And you can leave comments. Spotify is doing some big things. So Spotify is really up in their game. Leave comments. If you're listening to the podcast in Spotify, we'll respond to you there, just like we do with all the comments on YouTube. Ask us questions, get our opinions, whatever you want to do. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, a 5-star written review definitely goes a long way in helping out the show. And we really appreciate that. So without further ado, let's mock.
Yes.
All right. So we decided to kind of bookend this draft. Justin went toward the end of the
last draft,
the order in the last week's mock.
Yep.
So this week he has taken the 2 spots. So you guys can kind of get an idea of what an early super flex roster build is going to look like with Justin doing it. I took the late side. This time I'm picking 11. So Justin will have first dibs at quarterback. It'll be interesting to see what I end up doing down here at 11. So let's kick this draft off and we'll see who goes first. All right. So in the Superflex mock draft with the first pick, Josh Allen goes off the board. Obviously your first pick in these kind of drafts is going to be, it's going to be Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, maybe CJ Stroud, but it's going to be a quarterback. If you've ever played Superflex before and you get the 101, you take the best guy.
Yes.
Or who you think is the best guy. So Justin's up with 102.
And, usually I would go P. Mahomes here, Patty, but I'm going to change it up a little bit. And just for the rushing upside, give me Jalen Hurts.
I am not surprised to hear you do that because I know how much you like Jalen Hurts.
I am a fan.
I know. And he does have the rushing upside. Now, are you afraid at all that there's going to be a little drop off in the rushing touchdowns with Saquon there and Jason Kelce not being there for the tush push?
I guess there's a little bit of that, but I just, for me, it's like, just give me the opportunity for the upside. You know what I mean? Because the guy is athletic. If he can get out in space and just scramble, just in a super flex league, the rushing upside, give me that all day.
That is a great point, and I don't fault you one bit for it. So then team 3 bucked the trend. They went CMC anyway. Probably not going to happen in your leagues, but that's what happened here in the mock. Team 4 goes Patrick Mahomes, 5 Lamar Jackson, 6 CJ Stroud, and then we get CeeDee Lamb at 7, 8 goes Tyreek Hill. Breece Hall is the second running back taken in this first round at pick 9, then Justin Jefferson at 10. Now I'm on the clock at 11, and I'm kind of torn here because I got Jamar Chase and Amon-Ra St. Brown on the board, 2 just elite stud wide receivers. There's Joe Burrow, Anthony Richardson, Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray, all quarterbacks that I like. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting here knowing that I get the quick turn. There's going to be 2 picks after me, and then I'm on the clock again. So I'm actually going to bypass quarterback here.
Okay.
And I'm going to take Jamar Chase.
I don't hate it.
I'm going to see, okay, so team 12 goes Joe Burrow, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I like that start for them. Mm-hmm. So now I'm sitting here with Jamar Chase, and it's, okay, do I take Dak Prescott, who I know is going to be, he's going to be slinging the rock. They're going to be passing a ton.
You would think so.
In Dallas.
Yes.
So that could be high upside. And then, but Anthony Richardson's here. Now, the passing output is not going to be anything close to what Dak's going to do.
No.
But the rushing that Anthony Richardson can do, we know it's going to be a fast-paced offense. I'm pretty torn here, but I'm going to take Anthony Richardson because I don't think there's much.
Okay.
This kind of rushing upside really later in the draft is like Jaden Daniels.
Yes. Yeah.
And other than that, not quite to this level. So Anthony Richardson comes to me. So I start off Chase Richardson, and then after Anthony Richardson, Puka Nacua, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, and A.J. Brown. So 4 teams in a row neglected to take a quarterback to start the draft. Kyler Murray goes after A.J. Brown, followed by Dak Prescott, and then Marvin Harrison Jr., followed by Garrett Wilson, and Justin is back on the clock.
So I'm kind of in the same mode with you, just looking at some of the guys that are available at quarterback. I'm going to need a second quarterback, but I'm willing to let it ride for a little bit because I'm going to get basically 2 picks and it's back to me. So give me Jonathan Taylor here.
Okay, over Saquon. Well, you've already got Jalen Hurts.
Correct.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Now, if you did not have Jalen Hurts, say you went Mahomes,
okay,
would you have taken Barkley over Taylor? Or do you like Taylor over Barkley?
I just kind of like Taylor.
I'm kind of with you. I think Jonathan Taylor's poised for
injuries. So for me, there's risk with both guys, right? Like as far as injuries go,
there's risk with anybody.
Yeah.
More with any running back position in general.
That's
for
fair.
Sure.
And that's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm like, okay, but I'm very okay with that. So the team after went Saquon, we got Sam Laporta off the board. So I'm back up. Going to go quarterback here. Man.
What are your options?
So my options are Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Justin Herbert, Caleb Williams. I like the idea of Jordan Love taking a step again. So for me, if he can keep developing and keep improving, because there was flashes last year where you're like, whoa, okay, he's that dude. This guy's not just a one-off and gone again. He made some throws last year. Like you're like, okay, he's for real, and it all came together. But give me Jordan Love here.
If I was in your spot there, I would have gone Love as well.
Yes.
So I like that pick a ton. After Justin gets his second quarterback, goes Kyron Williams and then Brock Purdy. So team 4 gets 2 quarterbacks. Team 5 already has Jackson and Prescott. They go Chris Olave. Not a bad start to their draft. Team 6 already has 2, CJ Stroud, Kyler Murray. They get Travis Kelce. Team 7 gets their first quarterback with Tua, but they've got CeeDee Lamb and A.J. Brown to go with it. Then Brandon Ayuk, Devontae Adams, and Travis Etienne. 3 teams still do not have a single quarterback. I'm just going to, right now, you guys probably don't want to be one of those
I'd be panicking.
Teams. Now, there's a chance I'm on the clock here at 11 and then team 12. So now you've got 2 teams at the end here who only have 1 quarterback.
Yep.
I'm probably taking a quarterback. Team 12 is going to take at least 1 quarterback, I'm guessing, with their 2 back-to-back picks.
Yes.
And that could be, Justin Herbert, Caleb Williams, or Justin Herbert, Jared Goff. And then you're not left with a whole lot coming back through, those 3 teams that don't have anybody. So that being said, I know that I'm on a quick turn here. I'm looking at the board, seeing what I like. And I'm actually going to go with I don't have like a quarterback I'm in love with here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take Drake London because I think he could have a huge season.
Yes.
Pair him up with Jamar Chase. So then Justin Herbert, Rachaad White goes to team 12. Now I'm back on the clock. I like Justin Herbert. I'm just not a big fan of what the Chargers are projected to do with Harbaugh, with the run heavy offense or run heavy mindset.
Yeah.
And then Greg Roman, I believe what is it? It was like his offensive pace of play has always been like dead last in the league. Every time he's running offense, they run the fewest amount of plays. I'm just not big into their passing game this season. So I'm looking now, Caleb Williams, Jared Goff, Trevor Lawrence is still on the board, and so is Jaden Daniels. I don't think I'm kind of tempted to reach a little bit here for Jaden Daniels just to get like 2 big rushing upside quarterbacks since I don't have a running back yet. And I'm thinking, okay, I can get some passing, I can get some rushing with these guys. Man, this one's a little tough. I actually, you know what? I'm going to backtrack that a little bit. I've already got my rushing quarterback. I'm going to take Jared Goff. Okay. I think he's super solid. I think they have a great offense. Their offensive coordinator obviously is one of the best in the league. Yes, so give me Jared Goff. Let's pair him up. I'll get my pocket passer with my rusher. Caleb Williams went right after me, so Team 10 gets their first quarterback. Team 9 said, F it, I'm going another running back. Derrick Henry. Team 8 said screw it as well. They took Trey McBride, and then Michael Pittman goes, Mike Evans, Devon Achane, Dalton Kincaid, Isaiah Pacheco, and now Justin.
So here, I'm going to address tight end.
Okay.
And I'm going to take a shot on a guy who's usually very dominant, but kind of the injuries kind of caught up to him at the end of last year. Give me Mark Andrews here.
Okay.
A tight end premium.
That's true. That's true. I kind of forgot about that already.
Well, don't.
I know who my tight end targets are. If I like that, to me, Mark Andrews is the end of that first tier.
I was targeting the guy that I wanted right there while we're waiting was Trey McBride. I'm like, let me get Trey McBride. That's who I was going after. He went, and even I like Dalton Kincaid, but
it's really hard to pass on Andrews when you didn't have a shot at either of those two. So
exactly, there's a tier down, and then I feel like I either have to go wide receiver or running back here. Give me.
Oh yeah, because then after you went Mark Andrews, team one gets Trevor Lawrence for their second quarterback, and then Josh Jacobs, and you're back up. Who are you?
Give me a shot. So I want to go Stephon Diggs here. I do.
Okay.
But Nico Collins is right there. I feel like Diggs is a huge risk. Like if this is any other draft and last year didn't end how it did with him, like just completely kind of falling off as far as production, I feel like this is a no-brainer. I'm going to still do it because I really, really believe in Houston and that offense and Stroud just in general. So I still will do it. Give me Diggs there.
Okay. So Diggs over Nico Collins. Mm-hmm. So you went Diggs, then went Jalen Waddle, Nico Collins, DJ Moore, Malik Neighbors, Cooper Kupp, a big wide receiver run.
Yeah.
So team 8 gets their first quarterback, Jaden Daniels. Then goes Deebo Samuel, James Cook, and I am on the board. Okay, let's see here. It's kind of fun being on the turn here because I know that there's, if I grab somebody here, there's a good chance if there's a couple other players at a position I like, one of them's coming back, hopefully.
Yes. So,
oh boy. Running back is starting to dry up relatively quickly here. But I am going to just go ahead and keep swinging on wide receivers. Give me Devonta Smith. I don't
hate that at all.
I mean, you having Jalen Hurts, that's a great offense as well. I think with Kellen Moore coming in there in Philly, it's going to be last year. It's all drop. It dipped, but I think it comes back up this year. And I think they're back to being what they want to be. So after I take Smith, then goes Alvin Kamara, DK Metcalf, which is great because I was between Kenneth Walker and Joe Mixon. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of a tough one, honestly, because Kenneth Walker, it's going to be a whole new offense there in Seattle. Not really sure how they want to use him. He's not a pass catcher. He's a good running back.
Yes.
But I'm going to swing on the upside like you did with Stephon Diggs. I'm going to take a little bit older running back, but give me Joe Mixon. And let me see what he can do in Houston. They paid up for him.
That's what I would have.
They traded for him and they paid him.
Yes.
So, I mean, obviously they have plans to use him. Mm-hmm. So give me Joe Mixon.
I agree there completely.
Okay, so then goes Kirk Cousins, Kyle Pitts, Kenneth Walker, Matt Stafford, Zay Flowers, T. Higgins, Amari Cooper, George Pickens, and now you're up.
I am going to... I'm going to address running back here.
All right.
A guy I like a lot, if he can stay on the field, new team, I think they're going to run the ball a lot. Give me Aaron Jones here.
Okay. You think they're going to run the ball a lot?
It depends on who the quarterback is. I guess for either guy, it could be, you know what I mean?
I'll tell you my opinion on Aaron Jones. It's not that I don't like your pick. Yeah. I think that he's going to catch a lot more passes than what maybe you think.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's very good at that too.
Because last year I was listening to some stuff and they were talking about how Kevin O'Connell basically had the I don't care who my quarterback is mentality last year. I'm throwing the ball.
You kind of saw
it was Nick Mullins and Jaron Hall and whatever. And they were just chucking the ball around. So I think Aaron Jones has a great opportunity to catch a lot of passes, especially if it is J.J. McCarthy. You kind of see rookies tend to check down, dump it off to their running backs, take the safety valve if they're smart. So that could be really good for you, I think. This episode is brought to you by Omaha Steaks. Dog Pack, the summer's in full swing, and you guys know what that means. Omaha Steaks annual Hotter Than Fire sale. Go to omahasteaks.com right now, and for a limited time, you guys can get big savings on great packages from Omaha Steaks for just $99. Plus, you guys can get an extra $10 off that order with promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, at checkout. So these packages with that promo code are essentially $89. From exquisite steaks to legendary burgers, the premium pork, the air-chilled chicken, the meatballs, the chicken wings, the appetizers, the ready-to-eat meals, the wine, everything that Omaha Steaks has to offer. Head over there today, check it out. Shop the Hotter Than Fire sale to get these exclusive savings on the mouthwatering packages that start at just $99 plus. Use that code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out for an extra $10 off your order. But hurry, because this sale is only available for a limited time. Summer always flies by, and this deal is going to fly by, so you're not going to want to miss it. Go shop today, omahasteaks.com. Use promo code DAWGS at checkout for an extra $10 off your order.
So on the comeback here, I'm going to just go with Trevor Lawrence's favorite target from last year. I'll take Christian Kirk off the board.
Okay, yeah. So after you took Aaron Jones and went Tank Dell, Keenan Allen, then you grabbed Christian Kirk. I was looking at Evan Ingram. That's who I wanted to come back down the board to me. He did not. So that really blows. It goes Evan Ingram, DeAndre Swift, George Kittle, who I'm not interested in this year, Ramondre Stevenson, Terry McLaurin, Aaron Rodgers, Baker Mayfield, and David Montgomery. So now I'm up, and in a tight end premium, I don't know if I really want to punt tight end too much longer. Mm-hmm. But Brock Bowers is on the board here. The reports out of Vegas about Brock Bowers so far have been pretty impressive. Like they're excited to have him. They plan to motion him around, use him as a weapon.
Yeah.
I think he could have a really nice rookie season.
You worried about Mayer at all? I feel like
I'm not worried about Mayer because I think Brock Bowers and him play completely different roles for the team.
Yep.
And honestly, it might help the other, each help the other one. Mm-hmm. I could go running back here if I wanted to try like a James Conner type thing.
Yes. Yep.
Oh boy. Because I'm just trying to think if I waited. All right, let me see here. Okay, I'm gonna take a risk. I'm gonna wait. I have a plan at tight end. We'll see if it happens or not.
Okay.
It might not. But I'm going to take. Where is he? Back to the Raiders. I'm going to take Zamir White.
Oh, I like that pick.
See what happens here. So I get Joe Mixon and Zamir White as my first two running backs. Not my favorite, but also not the worst, I guess, coming.
I like the upside.
Yeah, since I didn't take anybody till the 5th round. So then Chris Godwin and there goes Brock Bowers. So even if he would have come back around, I would, or if I was looking for him, I wouldn't have got him. Okay, back on the clock here. You know what? I'm going to take David Njoku. I think that what he showed at the end of last season, this was not what I was originally thinking about doing at tight end. So I'll tell you what I was going to do.
Tell me.
I was just going to punt tight end here, take a shot on another receiver or a quarterback just to have a third.
Yeah.
And then wait till it came back around, and then I was going to take TJ Hawkinson and stash him on my IR and then take a later round tight end to fill in for the first 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a plan that I'm implementing different places. So if you guys are playing any of these, tight end premiums, or you just tight end in general, TJ Hawkinson can be a top 5 tight end, but he's not going to play for the first, don't know how many weeks of the season. He might be a little slow coming back off that ACL and all that kind of stuff, but he's still going to be very, very utilized in that heavy passing offense. So you might want to grab him, throw him on your IR, and then just take somebody else later. Take like a Hunter Henry late if you want to, because he might start out with Jacoby Brissett kind of hot.
Yeah. Yep.
So anyway, I take Njoku, then goes Hollywood Brown, James Conner, Najee Harris, Rome Odunze, Nick Chubb, Jonathan Brooks, Austin Eckler, and Deshaun Watson.
Okay. So I was honestly really, really going for Watson because I was going to stash a third.
Yep.
But in a tight end premium, Jake Ferguson sitting here, I think I just pick him up. It just, and depending on how my bench shakes out or how my roster is, maybe he's my starting flex.
That's true.
A tight end premium.
He gets that extra half-point boost. He's probably the second target for Dak Prescott. I mean, they don't. CeeDee Lamb and who else at wide receiver, really?
Brandon Cooks.
Yeah. But I mean, I think he's going to prefer Ferguson over him.
Yeah.
So I like that. So Jaden Reed goes after you pick, followed by Xavier Worthy, both to team 1, and you're back up.
All right, here. I'm gonna pad running back here and give me Javonte Williams.
All right. Taking the upside on Javonte coming back from a full year removed from his injury.
His rookie year, I was super impressed with just what he put out there. And then obviously the injury, didn't look like himself. My only concerns is it's Denver and there's running back competition. Like it's very, just depending on what articles you read or, you hear there could be 4 different starting running backs, honestly.
It's very true.
But yeah, just I like Javonte Williams, the player, and the athletic upside. So we'll take him there.
So Javonte off the board, followed by Calvin Ridley, Ladd McConkey, Rashee Rice, Jalen Warren, Zach Moss, Jordan Addison, J.J. McCarthy, and T.J. Hawkinson goes right before I pick. So it's a good thing that I took David Njoku because I would have gotten sniped. Well, maybe not because I would have pushed another tight end down the board. So maybe Hawkinson would have made it to
survived,
me.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yep. So I guess it would have been worth the risk in my opinion here because he was very close to coming back to me. All right. So what do I want to do? Do I want to take a third quarterback? I'm kind of looking at Geno Smith here. And you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to take Geno Smith because I think that I forget his name, the offensive coordinator from Washington coming in.
God, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'd have to look that up real quick. But offensive coordinator coming in from Washington from the college football ranks this year. I think that, Washington was one of the pass heaviest teams in college football. So they're expecting a big shift from Pete Carroll's traditional run heavy stuff from his mindset to a more pass heavy offense. And that, obviously the guy throwing the ball is going to benefit. So that's Geno Smith. And he's my third quarterback. So I feel good about that.
They got weapons.
They got a lot of weapons. Yeah. So then team 12 at the turn goes Deontay Johnson, Tony Pollard. And then I am back up. I'm looking through here, seeing what I want to do. The problem with trying to do a mock draft and host the show is I'm not really thinking ahead with my plans very well. So,
okay.
And then I get on the clock. I'm like, well, hang on a second. Let me
think what I want to do here.
See who's on the board. Who do I got on my team? So I've got Jamar Chase, Drake London, Devontae Smith, Anthony Richardson, Jared Goff, Geno Smith. Then I've got Joe Mixon, Zamir White with David Njoku. All right, I'm feeling pretty good about a lot of those picks. I'm just looking through. I kind of want to get a running back here, but there's not a ton. I'm going to go, since I'm at the turn, there's no way this guy's coming all the way back to me. I'm going to go down the board a little bit.
Okay.
And take a guy I think is going to have a bigger season than what some people maybe, especially this 80 people. I'm taking Brian Robinson.
I knew you were going to do it. Yep.
Yeah, for Washington. You were going to take him?
I'm with my next
pick. So there's no way he was coming back to me. He was much further down in the list on ADP, but that's the thing. Whenever you're on the turns and you're going to see this a lot in your draft, you'll see us continue to do it here. Like if there's a guy that you want, there's 22 picks, 22 picks before you pick again. So there's a good chance he's going to be gone. So if there's a guy you like and he's further down the list, you just got to take him because the chances of coming back are very slim. I never would have gotten Brian Robinson.
No.
So there we go. After that, sorry guys, goes Raheem Mostert, who I was also kind of thinking about.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins, I was also kind of thinking about. And then Goddard, Schultz, Christian Watson, JSN, Devin Singletary, and Tyjae Spears.
I was kind of eyeing Christian Watson.
Okay. Yeah, because you've got Diggs and Jordan, Christian Kirk.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Gosh. I'm kind of okay. Here, I'm gonna start reaching a little bit too, man.
You got to.
Yeah. And I don't even look at it as a reach. It's just kind of a messy situation. Give me Courtland Sutton here.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all.
It just depends on the quarterback position, the offense in general. Even last year, like they were moments of that season for that team where it was rough, but I thought he kind of balled out. When every time I watched him, he looked like a one. He
is their one.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if you're stealing. I think there's chemistry. There could be chemistry with Troy Hill and Bo Nix.
Troy Franklin.
My fault. Yeah. But like you got a seasoned vet, Courtland Sutton, number one stud. So I like that there.
And Troy Franklin was a 4th round pick?
Yes. Yeah.
I know he played college with Bo Nix, but
I know a lot of
guys. He's still a rookie.
Yeah. A lot of guys like him in even rookie drafts. I've seen him creeping way up in the first round. I'm like, man, I just don't.
He's a guy that if it ends up working out, I'm not going to be blown out of my socks or anything, but I'm not personally willing to take that risk. Just like team one here. So their last 3 picks were 3 wide receiver rookies: Xavier Worthy, Keon Coleman, Brian Thomas. Because right after you took Sutton, went Keon Coleman, Brian Thomas, and now you're back up. Were you thinking about either of those guys, or
which 2? Who were it?
Keon Coleman or Brian Thomas Jr.?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, me either.
Right here, I'm going to take a quarterback.
Okay.
I'm going to go Will Levis.
Oh, okay. There's definitely upside there because the new offense, the guy coming over, Brian Callahan, coming over from Cincinnati. Could be interesting.
Yep. Weapons. It's kind of a dart, but he's my 3rd quarterback too. You know?
That's right. That's
insurance policy, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so after you go Will Levis, went Derek Carr, and then Pat Freiermuth, Gus Edwards, Cole Kmet, Trey Benson, Chase Brown, Jamison Williams, and Romeo Doubs. So now I'm on the clock, and let me see, what do I want to do here? Okay, I see a name I'm kind of interested in. I see a couple, actually. Okay. I've only got the one tight end so far. And tight end premium, I don't really want to wait for like a late round flyer on a tight end, just because then I'm stuck. And just say David Njoku's not as involved as we think in this new offense in Cleveland and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm screwed.
Yep.
But I'll take a guy who was very involved as a rookie last year, and you have his quarterback who you're thinking is taking a big step up this year. I'm going to take Luke Musgrave.
I like it, man.
So I've got Njoku and Musgrave as my tight ends. Again, I would probably only draft 1 tight end in a regular league and then just play the waivers. But tight end premium, give me 2 of them. Let's see what happens.
That's kind of where I'm at, yeah.
Zeke Elliott was kind of the other guy I was sort of between there, thinking, okay, he's probably going to get a lot of the work in Dallas again. Could be a good RB3 type player, but that he goes to team 12, followed by Blake Corum. I'm back on the clock. And I am, let's see, who do I have for my receivers? I still only got the 3 now. Chase, London, and Smith, a little bit different build for me than normal, because I usually go a little heavier on the wide receiver. So I'm going to grab one here.
Okay.
And I'm going to take a guy who actually played really well last year, Jacoby Myers for the Las Vegas Raiders. I know they brought in Bowers like we talked about earlier. They still have Devontae Adams, but Jacoby Myers can still ball. I think they might be kind of run heavy. But again, this is my second to last pick, and if it doesn't look like it's going to pan out, I can always drop him and add somebody quick on the waivers.
I mean, he balled out last year.
He did. He was a reliable.
And you would think that the quarterback play, I guess we'll see what happens between Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. But you would think the quarterback play has improved.
I mean, he had Aiden O'Connell last year.
Yeah.
And he did okay.
And he did good. Yeah, right.
And I don't think Gardner Minshew's a step down from Aiden O'Connell.
No.
The only thing is they could either be equal or Aiden O'Connell took a step. That's it.
That's fair.
So at least in my opinion, but
yep.
So I go Myers, and then goes Tyler Lockett, Khalil Shakir, Adonai Mitchell, and then Zach Charbonnet, Curtis Samuel, Jerome Ford, who I was kind of thinking about there. He's not coming back to me. Quentin Johnston, and then Jerry Jeudy, who I was actually kind of thinking about there. Just, new scenery. The Browns gave up some picks to go get him, gave up some cash to sign him, and obviously there's a plan for him. So a late round flyer, I don't think is a bad idea.
Yep. A guy I've kind of been targeting late, and I'll take him here. And then it's a dart throw. There's a lot of uncertainty as far as who's going to be the one or how it's going to get divvied up. But give me J.K. Dobbins here.
Again, you get to see what happens at the first week or 2 of the season. And if he's not getting used at all, or he's like a healthy scratch, or
drop him.
Just drop him.
Yep.
Pick somebody else up. Yeah, I like that.
And then we're coming back around again. It went Kendra Miller and Cade Otton. Cade is a guy, I have him in a lot of dynasty leagues. And I think he's just a really nice bench tight end. And a premium, that's great value at the end of the draft. But I'm back around, and man, it's rough. It's rough, man.
It's rough at the end of the drafts. This is where you just take a shot.
I know. I just don't even like the shots.
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, you're going to have to take one.
Well, I'll take a shot here. A guy I think will be better and just more insurance. Give me Bryce Young here.
Okay. Hey, I mean, we've talked about the Dave Canales effect on quarterbacks.
Yep.
Now, is that your fourth?
Yes.
Fourth quarterback? Okay.
Yes.
I don't hate that. Now, we're doing this mock draft on Sleeper. There's a lot of quarterbacks still on the board in your home leagues. People that have played Superflex before. This might not be the case. You might see quarterbacks go heavy early
and be gone.
Every team's going to be trying, like, I can't just get 2, I need 3. And then teams like
4
are going to be saying, I want 4. I want that insurance policy. Like you said, we're taking shots here at the end. A shot for me would be a guy like Chuba Hubbard. You know, if Jonathan Brooks starts the season, you know, maybe he's not even, maybe he's on the pup or whatever with coming back from the ACL. Chuba Hubbard's going to get a lot of work at least to start. So I could get my first couple games and have a player there. Somebody else I was considering, I'm not going to take him, although I like the idea of it. There's one other guy I'm trying to think. I don't see who it was now, but after you took Bryce Young, went Gabe Davis, Mike Williams, Xavier Legette, Jahan Dotson. It was Jahan Dotson, so I was looking at taking a shot on. Ben Sennett, Josh Palmer, Rashid Shaheed, Josh Downs. And I'm going to do something similar to you.
Okay.
I'm going to take a shot on a quarterback, just a fourth quarterback, see what happens, see what I have at the beginning of the season. Now, the guys on the board, Drake May, Russell Wilson, Daniel Jones, Bo Nix, Gardner Minshew, Justin Fields. You know, I could try to take Russell Wilson and just see, like, okay, is he going to be really good in Pittsburgh, or at least good enough? Maybe I could even slot him in there some weeks. Yeah. With this many guys left on the board, I do have the luxury of saying, well, maybe I'll play that waiver wire real quick.
Yeah.
In week 1 for that fourth quarterback. I'm just going to take Drake May. Third overall pick. You know, they like him a lot, and
eventually
he's been so highly touted the last 2 years in college that it's just hard for me to believe he's not going to at least be an average NFL quarterback.
I mean, going into before this year, everybody that was their 1-1. You know, in rookie drafts, they're like, this is the dude.
Yeah, it was him, or was it Caleb? And they were kind of back and forth between those two. And then Jaden Daniels burst on the scene, kind of locked in that, well, in the real draft, he locked in that 2 spot. But, and I mean, in the real NFL draft, it was a lot of Caleb or May. So he may be okay. We will see. But I know that sucked. That's where Megan would just say, she'd just shake her head. She's like, that's so bad. I'm like, I know, and that's what makes it so good. So why don't you read off your team real quick?
Okay, sorry. I put my...
I can read it for you if you got it.
No, you're good. I'll pull it up.
Okay, well, I'll just do mine while you're getting it. Ahead. So I went Jamar Chase, Anthony Richardson, Drake London, Jared Goff, Devontae Smith, Joe Mixon, Zamir White, David Njoku, Geno Smith, Brian Robinson, Luke Musgrave, Jacoby Myers, and Drake May.
All right, for me, at quarterback, we have Jalen Hurts. Then I went Jonathan Taylor. I have Aaron Jones in the second spot right now. Stephon Diggs, Christian Kirk, Mark Andrews. I got Jake Ferguson in as my flex spot, and then my second quarterback would be Jordan Love. And then on the bench, we got Javonte Williams, Cortland Sutton, Will Levis, J.K. Dobbins, and Bryce Young.
So let us know what you guys think. I feel like that, you know, that's the thing, doing these exercises, you can kind of get a good idea of not necessarily how the draft is going to go for your leagues, but more so who can potentially be available at certain spots in the draft.
Yep.
Yeah. And when it's like this quarterback premium, tight end premium type of leagues, you just got to, I don't know, anticipate a little heavier run on those positions.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a little, we're playing against the computer bots here. It's a little more conservative. I think quarterbacks would have gone quick.
No starters.
I mean?
No starters.
No, yeah, they're definitely gone. No starters. I mean, we just did we're doing a Superflex Dynasty startup draft right now. We're in the middle of, and guys like Matthew Stafford are going in the 5th round. Oof. Okay. His ADP is like, I don't know, 15th round.
Yeah.
And people are reaching down that far to get him in the 5th round because they're like, I have to get a second quarterback because he's the best. Well, he's the best one still available. Everyone is just grabbing quarterbacks so quickly that there's one team in the league that I don't know if he's ever played Superflex before, but we're in round 6 and he's still only got 1.
That's it. First round, he's taking 1-1 next year.
Yeah.
He's taking the first pick of the draft next year. Better take a quarterback next year.
Could be tough, but
Yikes.
You don't want to get caught with your pants down. And then Superflex pants down means you don't have enough quarterbacks.
Yeah, all the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
All of them.
Hoard them up, baby.
Yep.
All right. Well, let us know what you guys think about our mock draft and then, and everything. Do you guys play in Superflex? Have you ever tried a Superflex? Is it the only thing you'll try or whatever? Just let us know what you guys think. We'll talk about it. And I think that's really all we've got for you today.
Absolutely.
There will not be an episode next week. I'm on vacation, so we're taking a week off. And, just enjoy this. Go back and watch the last mock draft. We've got 8 episodes of the pod out now, so catch up if you've missed them. And until we come back here in a couple weeks, everybody stay safe, have fun, enjoy the summer. We're getting a lot closer to football, so we will catch you guys in the next one.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dawgs Fantasy Football Podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow the podcast on social media at the Dawgs Fantasy.
This episode is brought to you by Danger Coffee. We talk about how Danger Coffee is made free from mold toxins that are in 45% of the world's coffee, but that's not all that Danger Coffee has to offer. Mineral and nutrient deficiencies are a big deal. They make you feel sick, tired, stressed, and they can give you brain fog. These deficiencies negatively affect your immune system, your digestion, sleep, metabolism. Have you ever wondered why you get an initial burst from your coffee, but then you get that little crash not long after? Danger Coffee's patent-pending process remineralizes your body with more than 50 trace minerals and electrolytes, leaving you more energized, engaged, powerful. These micronutrients enter the cells to boost performance. They bind to toxins to provide detoxification support. I know that sounds like a lot, but the bottom line, guys, is minerals matter, and most of us really don't get enough of them on a daily basis. Danger Coffee delivers micronutrients, plus it gives you access to the minerals you already have. Head to dangercoffee.com, use our code DAWGS, DAWGS, for 10% off your order, and that code can be used over and over, so you get 10% off every order you make using code DAWGS. It's time to start every day off with a cup of coffee that gets you going and actually keeps you going. dangercoffee.com, code DAWGS.